everyone, I'm JD, welcome back to my channel. So I am here to do a tutorial with you guys how to make one of these journal covers. So let me get the journal cover. Here it is. This is a little mini one, and here is a bigger one. So they're journals in the works there, but two covers, and this is kind of the original one, but this was made out of a roll-up box, and journals can obviously be made out of so many different types of boxes: cereal boxes, muesli bar boxes, biscuit boxes, all that type of thing. But what I did for these ones, even though they look pretty much the same, well, yeah, it's exactly the same kind of journal. Hi Kiani, how are you? Kiani wants to come up onto the table. Here you go. Yeah, I didn't have any more boxes, so I created the same type of cover effect by using a scrapbook paper pad, the backing of it, or even the front cover of it, as you'll see for this one. So it has the same kind of thickness and weight to it. Hey Keanu. And so this is the first time I've made a journal cover using this method. I've used the paper pad to make soft cover journals with just a single fold. I don't have an example. Oh wait, hang on. Sort of like this. Yeah, so this is exactly it actually. Yeah, this is made out of a paper pad, the backing of it, and all I did was one single fold and you get a journal cover like that. But this was my first go trying to make one with an actual wide spine, and it works just as effectively as using a biscuit box or cereal box. So I thought I'd come on here and share it with you. Since I've shown you how to make journal covers with this in the past, I thought I'd just share this other one here. Alright Kiani, you can get down now. So materials: scissors, ruler, some sort of marking tool, pen, pencil, glue, and some sort of covering for the front and the inside of the journal cover. So whatever you want, scrapbook paper or just any decorative papers, fabric, whatever you want. So I'm going to use these papers that I got from my sister-in-law for Christmas last year, and I'm getting to the end of it now. These are the last ones. She gave me 3 types. You saw the 2 travel ones for my travel journals, and now I'm making a series with this paper. So I will just clear my table a little bit to make a bit more room. Got the smallest little round table. Makes it a bit difficult, but anyway, we can manage. So this is going to be my outside cover. So I'm going to make a little journal here. Let me just use this as my template. And I already can see when I'm putting this on here that this size journal is going to work exactly for this one. I may have cheated before coming on camera and cut this down, so I know that's the size I want already, but obviously you'll just cut down whatever you're using to decorate the cover. And then I'm just going to grab my scrapbook paper pad, which was the top of it. So this is the one. So I'm just going to use the top. I've already used the bottom, I think, so I'm going to grab it here and I'm just going to line it up and trace it around. So obviously for the first one that I did of this, I just measured it, and I literally, you've seen how I do this, I literally just eyeball it and go, oh yeah, that'll do, that big. And usually what I do, this was a huge big roll of paper, so instead of making the journal the cover to fit the paper, usually what I would do is make the cover first, and then I'll put the paper whatever size I need to cut out for the journal. But since I'm using the paper to size it first, I am doing it this way. But yeah, usually before I would just go, oh yeah, that'll do, that big, oh yeah, that'll do, that big. So just whatever dimensions you want, have a play, big, small, you choose. Oh hang on, look at this, see, I've got a rip there. So I am going to cut that sticky tape off, and I'm going to measure it on the other side. Okay, and the great thing is, yeah, it really doesn't have to be super straight or exact or anything, because once you cover it with the paper and everything, it doesn't matter if like one side is 0.2 centimeters wider than the other or something. So I'm just using my bigger scissors to cut through this heavier paper. Alright, so this could make another journal cover. I don't have any more paper left though, so I'll have to think about what I do with the rest of that, but you know, keep your scraps, you can always make more journals out of them. And then, instead of just folding it in half like we did for our other just normal journal covers, I fold them so that we get a spine. So, okay. I'm just going to rule it to find where I need to put the spine. So I can't do maths in my head. Hang on a second. Alright, 11. And I don't really do anything precise. So I'm just going to check what I've done here. 9.5, 9.5. Alright, so I'm going to measure it from the outside actually. Alright, so I'm a bit stumped because this isn't actually how I did it originally, because like I said, I usually measure the journal beforehand. So what I'll do, I'll show you how I do it with this one. You're getting like an on-the-fly tutorial here. Let me just cut this off and show you an example, and then I'll go back to making my original cover. But let's pretend we're preparing another cover, and I'll show you what I did originally. And then I can show you there's two ways of doing things, and you know, you improvise when you get to it. So I went quite a bit there before because I was just like, how on earth did I do this? And then I figured out, yeah, actually I didn't do it like this last time. Alright, so let's pretend this is my journal height. And then what I do is I fold it over and go, how big do I want the cover? How wide do I want the front cover? And let's just go there. So this is how I originally did it, guys. So I don't measure anything here, like, you know, you could see it was totally just eyeballing, and now I'm just going by feel. I think, well, that's the height, that's how wide I want it. And then I do the next part, so the spine, and I'll literally, again, I'm eyeballing it, and I'm going, oh yeah, how about here? Do I want a wide spine or a narrow spine? That's what I've come up with. And the way that I make it even is just to simply line up the straightest edge. So there is my hinge, my spine, and then what I do is, so you can see that there, oh sorry, the shadows, oh terrible. I measure from the edge of the cover to that inner hinge, and it's about 11 centimeters. So then I go over to the other hinge and go 11 centimeters. So that's how I measured the cover. Whereas I've done this one backwards because I have to find the middle. Whereas this one I didn't need to find the middle, I needed to find the width of the last part of the cover, the back cover. So yeah, cut that off. Okay, this might be a bit of a mess of a tutorial, but hopefully you just see my process. And there is my new, let's do it this way, it's a bit distracting that way. Here's my new journal cover, ready to be covered with some sort of decorative paper, like that. So if it's not even anywhere, you can just trim it down again wherever it needs to be trimmed down, but once it's covered with paper and everything, you really don't notice or anything. So that's how I originally did it. I just measure the height, cut it out, fold one bit over to where I want the width, fold the next bit over for the spine, and then measure this side to get the width of this one, and then cut that down. So that's originally how I did it. Really, really super quick and easy. This one's a little bit more complicated because I already cut out the full size. So now I have to find out where my middle is to get my middle part of the spine. Otherwise, it could be off center, and then I'd have to keep cutting into the sides to get it right, which wouldn't be too much of a disaster, you know. You just improvise and do whatever you need to do. So this is where I'm getting silent because I'm not actually sure what I'm doing, and I'm going to just think my way through how to make this work. Alright, so what I think I'm going to be doing is that's 9.5 there, and I'm going to make this one 9.5 too, so I know that the front and the back are going to be the same width, and then I'm going to try my best to fold along that line. Great thing about the pen actually is I score it with the pen, and so it naturally will fold there, so that's actually really good. So, oh, did I already fold that? No, we're good, we're good. Okay, awesome. So the pen scoring, just that really works to fold it. And there's my cover. Alright, so it's actually really easy to do that too. All you need to do is measure in from this side and that side and make them the same, and then you're good. So 2 different ways you can come to the same end result. Sorry about that, stomped myself there in the middle of that tutorial. But I like showing that whole process, I guess, and me just working through it to show you, because that's often what happens when I create, is that it's mostly, creating is about solving problems and just making things work. You know, you have this end result that you have in your mind, and then you just play around until you get there. And so I encourage you to just play around. So let me grab my paper now. And this part, you know, there's not a lot to it. I will just stick everything down the way I normally stick my papers down, but for anyone who just wants to keep on following along and stay on and watch this part, I'll do this for you. So I'm just going to grab my glue And I'm going to do a very messy job for this part because it's all going to get covered on the inside, and I do need to do a bit of a better, cleaner job once I do the inside so that there's no glue squeezing out, but inevitably there always is. Alright, and then I'm just going to place that down. Oh, that's the other thing. See, it's actually been a while since I've made these journals, the other series. So what I found, to stop it buckling, I glue one section at a time. So there's a little tip for you that I just completely skipped, but I'm going to make it work again. Like I said, you just make things work. So I'm just going to cut out my little pieces, my corners. And if I glue each section separately rather than the whole thing at one time, this I found stopped it from buckling. So I'm just going to glue these down here. Oh, now you see me gluing that down. I've got strings going everywhere. Alright, perfect. Okay, so there's the front. And then I will apply more glue just on the spine. And I'm going to put that down. Cut out my corners for this. Glue these ones down. Alright, and then I'll just cut this now. It's already stuck. Oh dear. Hang on, so I'm just going to mold it just to make sure everything's flat and we're good. And then the last section. Alright. So, final gluing of these flaps. So I like folding the top and the bottom flaps first, because then when you cover this one over, it kind of catches both corners in case, I don't know, it just limits the glue and the mess because it covers both. And then I'm going to grab my inside piece, which is this map paper. I'm going to find where I want to put it and just measure this to size. Again, I just kind of eyeball everything. I can tell that's not straight. That's okay though, I can fix that up later on. The other material, if you want, is washi tape. So I like to use washi tape for the spine on the inside. Actually also, I'll show you two methods when I get to that of how to do the inside, but first of all let me just stick this on. Alright, so I don't need to have it completely straight, but I want to just make it straighter. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so same thing again. I just try to do this section by section as best I can. This is where I tend to get a bit glue happy and the glue squishes out. Okay, so I've done the front section. Then I'll do the spine. And it doesn't matter about getting glue happy for the spine because the washi tape covers all this part. So I'm just trying to limit the buckling by moulding it first, and then I'll do the last section. And I just put lots of glue on to, again, to minimise buckling. So yeah, just moulding it as best I can. It's still buckling in the middle. Now you're buckling over here. Alright, I don't mind too much. So, just grabbing my washi tape, and I love using this one because it's kind of like ocean. It's called Seaweed. It's from Washi Wednesday. It's my favourite one. And I just pop that straight down the middle. So it covers up those last bits of white, reinforces the spine, and gives it some added decoration, and also covers up any glue happiness. So there is one cover complete. Really quick and easy. Love the fact that it's reusing and recycling, and it's so cute. Alright, now I'm just going to try my best to get these buckles out. Oh, and I was going to show you the different types. So this is one type where you can use decorative paper on the inside and then washi tape down the middle, or like this one, I just used the washi tape itself to make the inside cover. I think I ran out of papers and things, so I used the washi tape for that. See, you can always make things work. So yeah, that is my little tutorial on how to make a journal cover using paper pad and having it with a spine. Well, they all have a spine, a wider spine. So there it is. I'm still not happy with this buckling, but we'll work that out. So give it a go. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you go if you do try it. And then yeah, I'll try and come back on soonish to share the 10 journal cover ideas. So some of you were saying you're keen for that video, so I'll definitely do that. Awesome! Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!